Ni hao, fine shits. This is what I'm doing with my life now. Today, I guess we're ranking every single fucking FNAF jump scare 1 through ruin. I don't know why I sound like I'm surprised. I thought of the video. It's content. Please like it. We are going to be skipping the FNAF VR and AR titles, primarily because those are so fucked up. Some of the animatronics don't even have the right jump scare sound effects to go along with them. Also, it's very specific on like where you're looking, and it's a very individual. I don't know. I don't want to fucking deal with it. There you go. I'm lazy. Just blame that. I don't give a shit. Help wanted. How about no help needed? Special delivery. How about special fuck yourself? If you're new to the channel and haven't seen one of my tier list videos before, essentially I make actual physical pegs and I put them into this board and I rate them to varying degrees of success. And today, instead of a wicker basket, I have the box. You'll notice the box is unlocked, and I know you're thinking, Scott, what was inside that thing? And, ooh, buddy, I forgot. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, tell your friends, and hit the like button. It really helps and supports the channel. But without further ado, let's start pulling from the box. Starting off with FNAF 1. I think one of the reasons that the original FNAF's jump scares work so well is because both of its brevity as well as its build-up. The telltale signs of a door refusing to close. A literal death knell telling you that your demise is inevitable. Right now, it's just a matter of how long you can delay it. Until finally. It's effective stuff. Bonnie's design too is just super fucking creepy, enough so that just a still image of it was enough to make Scott like freak the fuck out during playtesting. You know your design is good when your jump scare really fucks with you before you even animate it. That's good stuff. It's honestly iconic to the series today. She's trying to break in. She's already trying to break in. It's not even been fucking 5 minutes into it. Would you like to explain your crimes, madam? Anything to say to the fine people at home? I think the sound design really works quite well for it too. Like the original FNAF jump scare sound effect really like fit the kind of screeching, horrifying aesthetic that you'd think you'd hear from like dead children possessing animatronic robots. I think it works very well. I'm gonna have to say S tier for Bonnie the Rabbit. He really does it for me. Don't read into that. And that will be in S tier for you. Up next, we've got Chica the Chicken. I think it's less effective than Bonnie's, personally, just from the way that she moves, but I still think it's pretty strong. I mean, it's no helicopter Chica bad, but I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong, I still think that Chica's freaky, and seeing her animated in any way is freaky with that design, but at the same time, I don't think it's quite as executed as well as she wants out now. Not bad, but I think it's definitely probably the weakest of all the FNAF 1 jump scares, which, you know, you can decide whether that's a compliment or not. I'm gonna say B tier for Chica the Chicken. Up next, we've got Foxy. Simplistic, almost kind of blunt in its execution. Really good stuff. Whether you even see him running down the hallway to kill your ass, or you're just completely blindsided by him, Foxy's jump scares are both really effective, as well as a nice bit of variation from the I'm in your face, I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. These. Oh my god, did I kill him? I'm actually worried. His eyes stayed shut. That's not supposed to happen. We'll revisit that. But as I was saying, Foxy's jump scare is a nice bit of variation that really, really works. Foxy just leaning in, slack-jawed, making 3 of your monitors turn on for some fucking reason, is like, mwah, chef's kiss. It really does a great way of executing on the kind of withered state that he's been more or less hinted at having thus far. Foxy looks fucked up, and his jump scare does too. If you've gotten this far to the point where you're actually having to worry about Foxy, chances are it's old hat for you. Close left door, close right door, no problem. Wait for Bonnie and Chica. This motherfucker runs down the hallway and there's no way you'll know unless you see him on the camera. There's a reason a lot of the earlier Let's Players of FNAF 1 were so fucking horrified when Foxy first showed up, because it is the immediate shattering of whatever confidence they had in this game. Foxy's the fuck you, no, you don't know what this thing's about. A nice touch as well is that Foxy's jump scare is consistently scary. A lot of the ones we'll be talking about kind of lose a lot of their shine the more times you see them and the more times they become just things to piss you off. But Foxy's is one of the rare occasions where a jump scare stays scary because of the animation of him running down the hallway. No matter if you've played FNAF 1,000 times or you're first, that sight will always freak you the fuck out. The fucking fight or flight response of, I have picoseconds to stop this. I hate him. It's really good shit. I'm gonna say S tier for Foxy. Iconic spot for an iconic fella. Up next, we got Freddy Fazbear. Oh man, he's gonna be pissed about this. Freddy's a special princess, so he gets 2 jump scares. Good for him. He's got the side wiggle reach around, and oh, who could forget? Let me sing for you, baby girl. It's time to die. Freddy, in my opinion, is an interesting case because he's one of the examples where I think his best work is the build-up. I think the build-up of him and just how much of a force of nature he feels like is really well done. The jump scares, yeah. The side wiggle one is fine, but his fluidity is just, it's not scary. I don't know, it feels like it breaks the immersion for me a little bit. That's a limber bear, and usually I'm all about that. His Toreador March jump scare is a lot more effective for a while. The first time you see that jump scare, it will scare the piss out of you. The 30th, it will have pissed you off, and probably by the 60th, you are counting on it to help you finish a 20-20-20-20 run. Since the length is always randomized, if you're doing a 420 mode run, and it's down to the wire, having a longer Toreador March can literally make or break the run. What starts out is a phenomenal bit of horror buildup quickly becomes just part of the late game RNG strategy, and that really neuters a lot of the horror that it has. Don't get me wrong, the first few times you played the game and you die from this jump scare, it will scare you, but sadly over time it becomes more and more recontextualized from scary to strategy. So between 2 jump scares that seem a little bit too wiggly and just overall an execution that I don't think is nearly as well executed as, say, the build-up leading to his jump scares, I think I gotta say B tier. I don't like how wiggly this bear is. It's a strange sentence, but probably one I'll say again in my life. Did you know, actually, that the original name for Freddy Fazbear was actually just Freddy Bear? But Scott actually had to change it because I threatened to sue his ass if he stole my drag name. Up next, we've got Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy's is an interesting case because on the 10, the idea of just a static PNG jump scare seems like the laziest shit ever, especially when compared to the beautiful animating work that other jump scares in this game have. But in my humble opinion, that is exactly why it works so well. Golden Freddy is supposed to be jarring, weird, something anomalous and wrong. For one, he's in your office, a distinction that for any other animatronic would mean you're fucking dead. Golden Freddy is different. He's abnormal compared to every other mascot in the roster. Every other animatronic can end your game. Golden Freddy fucking crashes it. Back in the day, Golden Freddy worked so well for the fanbase because it genuinely felt like FNAF might be haunted by something. This was so fucking freaky and out of nowhere. I think this might be Golden Freddy's best showing on this entire list. The first time this was ever executed, I think Scott tapped into a kind of primal horror that he was never quite able to replicate in quite the same way. Though he will try, and we'll talk about those two. S tier. S tier for Golden Freddy. Alright, that's FNAF 1. Up next, we got FNAF 2. How I remember it so well. I was just a youngin' wondering, is this a sequel or a prequel? Withered Bonnie is an interesting case because I love the variation on display here. Having Bonnie reach directly at your face as if he's almost attempting to rip yours off and place it on where his used to be, that's pretty raw. It's pretty straightforward as far as jump scares go, as in he goes straight forward towards you. Fuck you, that joke wasn't. A faceless Bonnie shrieking like a monster in your face is some really effective horror, or a potential turn on if you fuck with rabbits. I'm not speaking from experience. I think overall I prefer the original Bonnie jump scare a little bit more because I think it was a lot more smooth and better executed. And I think all of the FNAF 2 jump scares kind of are like, for when it comes to like the choppy animations of them. But I'm thinking A tier is probably appropriate for Bonnie, for Withered Bonnie. Boom. Up next we got Withered Chica. Withered Chica's jump scare is fine. These are really the hardest to talk about on the list because it's like, it doesn't inspire me and it doesn't really particularly scare me either. It's like kind of milquetoast to me. That is a word. I had to convince people that was a word the other day. I hate my friend. These are the toughest to talk about because they exist in that uncanny valley of mid where it's like, It's like, yeah, I'd rather the hand job if the alternative is getting one with sandpaper. This metaphor may have ran away from me. I'm gonna say C tier for Chica. It doesn't inspire me, it's not phenomenal, but it doesn't make me want to myself either, so. Withered Foxy. I mean, you already know where I'm gonna put him. Come on, now, Withered Foxy's jump scare in FNAF 2 is like probably the most iconic of any Five Nights at Freddy's jump scares. I got a Joe Biden version of that on my phone. Put that up. From a gameplay standpoint, though, too, I think Withered Foxy is actually really interesting to talk about because I like the idea of this character being completely immune to the mask. He does not give a fuck. Call him Whitney Houston, because he knows what you are. I think Foxy's jump scare does the best at selling, like, kinetic movement in the entirety of FNAF 2. Like, Foxy launches himself at you. He wants you dead same-day shipping. Okay, so this is entire vibe-based, but I feel like the jump scare sound effect and sound design works the best for Foxy. It sounds the right amount of fucked up and like a screaming fox launching at my face. So I'm gonna say S tier for Foxy. It's not a surprise. Up next we got, Dog Shit Daniel. Fucking abysmal. Hey! this jump scare kind of blows. Motherfucker moves into frame like a sitcom gag and then does a Pac-Man impression for a couple frames before it ends the game. Stupid man. It's a little ironic to me that this jump scare has so little going on and so little going for it when one of my main gripes with the original FNAF 1 Freddy Fazbear jump scare was that it had too much going on, but I didn't realize how good I had it until I saw Sidestep Steven. D tier for dick. I'd give it an F if I could. Maybe I will. Don't fucking tempt me. Up next we have Golden Freddy in some of his worst work yet. So no head? Don't get me wrong, the idea of a gigantic Golden Freddy head flying towards your face a la Wario from that scary Super Mario 64 creepypasta, I fuck with that. That's not bad. That's not a bad thing. It's just not nearly as good as it was. Everything else that Golden Freddy had going for him in the first game that really added to that kind of horror is gone. There's no more hallucinations for whenever he appears in your office. There's no pitch shifting on his jump scare. He doesn't even crash your game this time around, just giving you a game over like every other animatronic. The reason he worked so well in the first game was because he felt like this freak of nature that should not be here. He felt like something different from the entire rest of the cast. Like maybe Scott Cawthon didn't code this in, it found its way into the game. And here, It's just another fucker to have to keep track of. A lot of the mystery and terror that existed for Golden Freddy is just kind of stripped away. He just becomes another apparition sideshow in a game which I will remind you has 2 other apparition sideshows. It's like watching a sports person play their sport well out of their sport playing age. Can you tell I don't watch sports? I'm gonna go D tier. We're gonna make this fucked up bear city. Take me down to the Paradise City, where the girls are bears and the bears bear titties. Toy Bonnie. Is it weird to say that Toy Bonnie is like the most Sabrina Carpenter coded of the animatronics? Like, I can't, like, defend that, but you'd feel what I mean, right?
Have you ever tried this one?
This jump scare is fine. It suffers from the same issue that a lot of the other ones do, which is that it's constantly stopping on the last frame, so you can, like, take notes and be alone with your thoughts for a second before the game actually ends. The reason these jump scares worked so well is because they were blink and you'll miss it, frenetic shock and awe, you're dead jump scares. I liked it better in FNAF 1 when every jump scare felt like you just got shot, and you were immediately back in purgatory, staring at a continue screen, deciding on whether, do I really want to sign myself up for more of that? In FNAF 2, Scott let you be alone with your thoughts. You just have a little intimate moment with the creature who just ended your existence before getting spat out to the main screen again. I think it's bad. I'm gonna say B tier for Bunny. I think it does a pretty good job at what it's setting out to do, but it is also doing that while being entirely, wholly uninspiring. Toy Chica. Yeah, she's hot and I want to fuck her. We get that out of the way? All right, let's move on to the review. I honestly wish that this was a little bit different. I wish she kept her beak, for one, and, like, moved it because, you know, we've kind of seen no facial expressions from Toy Chica ever, now that I come to think of it. And that's kind of weird. Her jump scare's a lot like Bonnie's, you know, jump with the screen, have her face fill it up, give her a big old smooch, you know, same song and dance. Except the difference this time is that the final frame looks like a really fucked up emoji. Maybe the tax man from Repo. I'm gonna say B tier for Chica as well. What are you still doing here? Up next, we got Toy Freddy. Serves its purpose just fine. Yeah, it's obviously a loop, but chances are it's on screen so little you won't actually notice that, so I don't have that much beef with it. But it also just doesn't really inspire me that much either, so fuck it, we're doing a toy sweep in the B tier, baby. Let's go. The Puppet. Freak. The puppet looks a lot like every twink I've ever dated, in the sense that they had no eyes and their mouth was just an endless obsidian void. I have a type. I think a lot of the reasons that this jump scare works really well is just the sheer amount of effort that you put into attempting to make certain it doesn't happen. Rewinding up the music box every couple of seconds, just constantly checking to see if it's coming out of its box, and eventually leading to, oh no, you didn't do it enough. I think that's a really neat mechanic, but it's one that unfortunately becomes very tedious very quickly. Tediousness or not, there is a degree of personal interaction and involvement in this jump scare, which I think does keep it routinely scary over time. Its execution, haha, is pretty good as well, like listening to Pop Goes the Weasel for the last few moments of your life, knowing at any moment this monster is going to emerge from the blacky depths in front of you. It's pretty chilling stuff. Over time, though, I do think the tediousness of having to wind up the box over and over and over again kind of really kills a lot of the return value for its horror. Not enough, like not completely, but enough to make it not an S tier. I'm gonna say A tier for the puppet. And lastly, we got Mangle. Is Mangle a boy? Is Mangle a girl? Mangle's a freak. I like Mangle's jump scare a lot, mainly because it gives you lots of time to think about your mistakes. Once Mangle's in your office, they just sort of hang out for a while. literally. Staring at your cross-dressing ass as you shift between cameras and looking up and knowing that at any moment, that thing might come down and kill you. Couple that up with the freaky frequencies it's emitting and the weird staticky garbled radio shit and the fact that it's always at the top of your screen staring down at you. It's really well executed horror. But once they're on the ceiling, what then? Who knows? Will they kill you? You don't know. Will you have enough time to finish the night? Probably not. But maybe. Having Mangle's jump scare be randomized once they're in your office is such a mean game mechanic, and I fucking love it. You can still beat a night with Mangle in your office. It's unlikely, and it's entirely dependent on RNG, but it is possible, making their entire duration in your office all the more horrifying and suspenseful. Are you going to die and is this going to end your run, or are you potentially going to be that 1 in a million people that runs out the clock and doesn't get that? It's like playing FNAF with a loaded gun to your head, and brother, the gunman's finger's getting pretty itchy. We're going to go S tier. I love Mangle's jump scare. I think that it is the perfect fusion of interesting and engaging gameplay mechanic mixed up with just dread-inducing horror. And that's FNAF 2. It's crazy to have only recorded for like 30 minutes and to see that many things on the board. I'm not used to that. Let's fill it out more, shall we? Five Nights at Freddy's 3, the game that ended it all. FNAF 3 is actually one of the most criticized games for when it comes to the jump scares on offer, which really fucking surprised me when I first heard that. As a younger man, I was like 16 when this came out. I was like 16 when this came out. But I never thought the jump scares were bad. I'm like, it's a little bit different from past games, sure, but at the same time, I think it worked pretty well. But starting off, we're going to be talking about the Phantom animatronics. Now, the Phantom animatronics were an interesting addition to FNAF 3 because they were the first time Scott Cawthon and the series has ever offered the player forgiveness. You see, there's only one real actual animatronic in FNAF 3 that can kill you, and that's Springtrap, whereas all the other ones can jump scare you and give you some kind of negative status effect, whether it be fucking with your ventilation, or taking away your camera access, or testicle torsion. No matter what it is actively made to make your entire game all the more difficult, all while good old Willie, English Willie over here gets closer to fucking you up. Anyways, first up, Phantom Chica. I think that's pretty good. I like the fluidity of the animatronic jump scares in FNAF 3. I think it really fits the phantom ghostly apparition coming at you really well. I'm very interested to know what is going on with Chica's hands. Like, is she grabbing the arm of your chair as she pushes herself into you? To which case, okay. I think Phantom Chica's jump scare works really well for the character, is well animated, and overall might be my favorite in all of FNAF 3. I do really want to know why FNAF 1 Chica was the model for Phantom Chica, whereas all the other ones were their derivatives from FNAF 2. I'm sure there's no deeper lore significance to that. I'm gonna say S tier for Phantom Chica. I just realized that I'm doing different patterns for different rows. This thing makes no fucking sense to me either, dude. Up next, the Phantom Puppet. What a neat redesign for the puppet. Like, the Phantom Puppet looks fucking gross. Its jump scare is less of a jump scare and more of like, you know, it just popping up to stay on your screen for a while. It's not entirely static. The eyes do shift around and move, which is an amazing touch. I cannot say how cool that is enough. Unfortunately, I think it's that staticky sound design that kind of takes a lot away from this jump scare because it is annoying. And I know that's partially the point because it's supposed to be distracting and make your time like shifting between cameras and checking up on Springtrap all the more difficult, but I can't help but feel like there may have been some better execution there that would have been both more appropriate narratively as well as just easier on the ears. Like what if when the puppet comes up instead of staticky noises, it's a much more garbled, fucked up version of its music box theme. I feel like that would have been a lot more effective, but that's the sound designer in me wanting to fix things that, you know, in all honesty, probably don't need to be fixed. Unless I say otherwise. I'm gonna say A tier for the puppet. Here's a question for you. Why is it when you're looking at the puppet in the cameras of FNAF 3, the design switches back to the clean one from FNAF 2? Were we just sipping on that Faz goo? What the fuck is that about? Phantom Foxy. I mean, it's pretty much just the same jump scare as the last game. He launches himself at your face, and it's animated a bit differently. I think the animation for Phantom Foxy kind of, like, takes a little bit away from it. Seeing him kneel down before jumping at you is kind of goofy. I think Phantom Foxy's jump scares should start a lot later than it actually does, because turning your head to see him standing fully upright and then bend down and jump at you, it's a little goofy, it's a little silly. I think it would be a lot more effective and a lot more, like, frenetic and, like shocking in a way if he was already in, like, an arch down position, primed and ready to just face fuck you. There's probably fan fictions about that. Don't get me wrong, his starting position and, like, vibe is fine, and if that was one of the many, like, positions he could be in when you turn your head to look at him, I don't think I'd have nearly as big of an issue, but given the fact that's what you see every time, it's like, really? He never prepares and lowers himself, like, he's always just standing full, like, oh no, he's gonna see me put in all of the effort. I think that might have been a quote from that fan fiction. The build-up, I don't think is all that phenomenal, and it really is just a carbon copy of the one from FNAF 2, so... I'm gonna say C tier for Phantom Foxy. I don't think it works nearly as well as the FNAF 2 derivative. Up next we have Phantom Freddy. Oh, cool, I was right. Much better Freddy. I think the animation's good. I like his design. I like the fact that you kind of see him prepped and coming after you as well. I think that adds a lot to it. Like, oh, that bear's gonna be in here any moment now. There's probably a couple fanfic. I'm gonna say A tier for Phantom Freddy. It's good. It's appropriate. I think it has good build-up, but it's not, you know, reinventing the wheel. Up next, we got Balloon Boy. In my notes, the first bullet point is just, little shit. Man, if you thought Balloon Boy was bad in FNAF 2, then you'd be right, he was incredibly fucking annoying. But he's bad here too! Phantom Balloon Boy's jump scare is probably the easiest and most simplistic to avoid, but also one of the ones that will just piss you off over and over and over again. Just move to a different cameras every time he comes up on your screen, or otherwise he'll rip down your monitor and ask you to play Dandy's World. Is that a topical reference? I don't know. Who is Dandy? What? Can I enter his world? Don't get me wrong, the first couple of times this motherfucker gets you, it will spook you, but over time, it will become more and more rage-inducing as you say to yourself, I should have been able to get off that camera, or there wasn't enough time to do that, or it just generally fucking pisses you off over time. It's Balloon Boy. It's not hard for him to do that. I'm gonna say D tier, because I hate him and he should explode. And lastly, we got English Willie himself, Springtrap. Springtrap has two separate jump scares, and both of them I think work pretty well. I'm gonna be honest with you, I never had an issue with Springtrap's jump scares. Yeah, he moves a little bit differently than past animatronics have in FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, but all of them do in FNAF 3. Some people criticize it because it's too fluid and it's not, like, extreme enough, but you gotta remember that this is a different kind of beast you're dealing with than past games animatronics. This isn't just an exoskeleton robot, this is a dude. There's a rotting corpse in that rabbit suit, dude. That motherfucker, that's a guy. That freak of nature is a whole ass dude with dick and balls. Actually, there's probably a fanfic. Point being, it's a nice variation from the past games in your face, waka waka or jump towards you kind of style, where it's just him entering your office as like a smooth operator of sorts, about to fuck your shit up. I will say, one gripe that I would have is that I feel like the jump scare sound effect for FNAF 3 works better for the Phantoms than it does Springtrap, and I know obviously this is like just revisionism for the sake of it, but I think if like this Springtrap had the same like sound effect as FNAF 6 Springtrap, or Scrap Trap if you're a freak, it would be a lot more effective and probably fit the game and his jump scare a little bit better. That also would have been a really interesting addition to the game if the only character that doesn't have the same jump scare as the rest is the only one that's real. I don't know. I think that would have been neat, but what do I fucking know? I've only won awards in sound design. I've lost them too. Springtrap fucks with you too, and I love that. Whether it be like you taking down the monitor and seeing him just staring you down from the other side of the glass, him poking his little fucking head into the room, watching you as you attempt to reset your ventilation, or even when he runs across the screen, prepping himself for the next jump scare when you move your head back to your monitor. Like, there's a lot to like about Springtrap's jump scares. I was thinking A tier initially, but like, I think I've talked myself into an S tier. I really like Springtrap's jump scares, and I think even with the small sound design gripe that they fit the tone and the vibe of the game perfectly. It's nice variation, a very unique addition to the other jump scares on offer, and overall I think it does a really good job at serving the gravitas of what is essentially the primary fucking antagonist for this series. So S tier for him. 5 Nights at Freddy's 4, the one that ended it all. Nightmare Freddy's jump scares really range from either frontal lobe eating good or potential HR complaint. The jump scare that plays when you let too many of the frettles, as I believe Daco and other people have described them as, accumulate on your bed, and he lifts you in the air and just fucking eats you. Mwah! Cinema. Phenomenal. The one where he like sneaks into your room and gets right in front of you, I like it less. I don't know where his hands are going, dude. Like, we're sat in front of our bed, so I can only imagine he's, like, slamming his hands in between our head against, like, the bed frame, and that is scary, actually. I think his on-the-bed jump scare is a little bit more effective than some of the other dynamic camera movements that we see with other jump scares in this game. Like, a reoccurring thing you will see is that a lot of these characters pick you up because you're playing as a child, or you're just very easy to be kicked around like a football. Some of them suffer from this issue where it seems like you're moving upward and it makes no sense why. We'll get into that in a little bit later. But with Freddy, it makes perfect sense. That motherfucker wants to take a bite out of you. You are kid cuisine. I think that his forward-moving jump scare leaves a lot to be desired. He looks a little bit too static, at least in the very beginning of it, and I think comparatively to a lot of the other animatronics that we're going to be talking about, it's not nearly as strong, especially when compared to the one where he's on your bed. It's just really it's fucking awful out of context. A tier for Mr. Nightmare Freddy. There we go. Yeah, I remember. I didn't forget his name. I see a lot of myself in Nightmare Foxy, because we're both red-haired freaks who cause a lot of trouble when we come out of the closet. His jump scares kind of suffer from the same issue as FNAF 3's Foxy jump scares, where the placement of him when you see him in the closet is just a little silly. Like, he's just sticking his head out there like a freak, like an e-girl. They didn't even give him his long tongue from the teasers. They didn't make him a real freak. I don't know why Scott didn't commit to that design choice. I think all animatronics would be far more frightening with just very large tongues. I like the subtle glow of his eyes when he shoots himself towards you, and how you catch a little bit of air when he actively like makes contact, even though I don't really know why you do. Like, is he just picking you up in the air and screaming in your face? Dad? The closet jump scare is silly to me, and the one where he actually kills you it's fine, but it does not impress me in the ways that others on this list have. So I'm gonna say a conservative B tier for Nightmare Foxy. I don't know why I can't remember their goddamn names. Oh, probably because of the Faz gas. Up next, we have Nightmare Chica.
The first night is never usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
I forgot to make a push pin for the cupcake, so we're gonna grade them together. That'll go all right. I like how forceful Nightmare Chica's jump scare is. Like, I feel like hers is one of the few in the game that has the most like in-your-face frenetic movement. I like the fact you kind of catch air a little bit, which is kind of funny because you can see both of her arms like reaching out towards you, which makes me believe the only reason you caught air was because she kicked you really hard in the dick. The cupcake jump scare for her is also a really fun addition too. What an absurd, like, very, very iconic Scott Cawthon thing to do, to make the fucking cupcake have a jump scare in the last game in the series. It's stupid, but I adore it. The more I think of it, Nightmare Chica is just really disrespectful in FNAF 4, because her jump scares range from her either swiftly kicking you in the cock or sending her fucking cupcake to come kill you because she can't be bothered. Is Nightmare Chica cunty? I'm thinking A tier for the pigeon and the pastry. I think that her jump scares have a lot of really good variation and are different enough from one another that like they really boost each other, but also she's not even in one of the jump scares, so I can't necessarily say that that's S tier territory. S territory. Up next we got Nightmare Bonnie. I think Nightmare Bonnie's jump scares are fine. They're kind of like the golden standard for what Scott Cawthon was trying to do for, I think, a lot of the FNAF 4 jump scares, where it's short and sweet, but also quick and freaky enough to leave you with some sense of shock and awe. I think the camera movements during Nightmare Bonnie's also makes the most sense. It like actually feels like you're getting picked up and your head is being gobbled. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if Nightmare Bonnie was the first one that Scott animated, because I think it like has the most like bare bones of all the different jump scares on display in FNAF 4, but honestly, that's kind of to its benefit. I'm gonna say, fuck it, A tier for Nightmare Bonnie. We got the whole crew there. That's gonna be A tier for Nightmare Bonnie. Up next, we have Fredbear. Fredbear's design is so fucking cool. Like, this might be some of the freakiest animatronic modeling work that Scott's done on maybe any of them. Fuck uncanny, fuck like creepy vibes. This guy is horrifying. Rows and rows of teeth, one in his fucking abdomen, for Christ's sakes. Nightmare Fredbear is like genuinely one of my favorite like looking animatronics ever. But how is his jump scare? It's pretty good. I think it has a little bit that could be improved upon, but for what's there, it's not terrible. I think his jump scare does a pretty good job at selling just how fucking large and imposing this monstrosity of a creature is. However, it seems like such a jarring and obvious like oversight to not have his jump scare end with his mouth be open. Like, this is the bear of 87. This is the biter.
You ain't from Michigan if you never done this before.
Sorry, I meant to say 83, because that plot point was important to add. Why? Fuck you. But yeah, he's the fucking reason you're fighting for your life in this coma in the game in the first place, and like his jump scare doesn't end with him putting your face into his mouth. It's such a wasted opportunity for what have been like something that's just narratively perfect. That, I think, is what cuts it down, in my opinion. I think that's gonna make it A tier, because I love just about everything else it has going for itself, from his sheer hulking size to the way in which he moves. But like, God, it's like, it was right there. It was right there. Oh my God. It upsets me, but we're gonna put Nightmare Fredbear in A tier. Up next, we've got Plushtrap. Even though I don't really understand his inclusion, like, at least physically within the game itself, I do really enjoy the mechanic that Plushtrap added. I don't know what it is, just paying close attention to rabbits, it sounds very appealing to me. That being said, Plushtrap's fucking stupid. Why is it Plushtrap? There was a full-sized Bonnie in the place when you got your head cracked, you made that one miniature. Why is he in this? Why him and not Nightmare Balloon Boy? I'll talk about it more then, but like Nightmare Balloon Boy feels like it makes the most sense out of any of the characters to have a small Nightmare derivative. Why the fuck would you shrink Springtrap? That being said though, I don't know how serious we're supposed to take Plushtrap's inclusion into the game, primarily because his jump scare is literally pitch shifted to sound like a Looney Tune. I think Plushtrap's best strength, though, is just the build-up that leads up to his inevitable jump scare, trying to get him on the X and either running out of time or just not being very good at the game. It's a good recipe for some good horror. At least for the first few times, Plushtrap will absolutely make you want to crash out, as the kids say. I'm gonna say C tier for Plushtrap. He amuses me, but amuses me in the way two seagulls fighting over a dead rat do. It's a very disgusting kind of amusement. It's like, you know, I don't like it, and I wouldn't recommend it to friends, but like, I'm not turning my head away. Okay, I see what you were going for here. Nightmare is a neat animatronic because it's essentially like the encapsulation of death itself within the FNAF world. And as a result, I think Nightmare is probably the closest thing that Scott ever made in his attempt to recapture the magic of FNAF 1's Golden Freddy. There's a lot of really great mystique and interest that comes along with that, but I feel like it's wasted on the jump scare. This is going to be kind of a controversial opinion, but like, I think the static PNG is fine. My issue is the fact that it has noise. If you really wanted to make Nightmare wholly different from a lot of the other jump scares, not only in the series, but in FNAF 4 specifically, have his final like splash screen jump scare static image be completely silent. Imagine you're playing Night 6 and you're listening for footsteps, for breathing, for any potential noise this horrific monster might make. You are so dead set, so locked in, listening and listening and listening, and then your game ends. But instead of static in your ear, suddenly you're accompanied with nothing. Just his face. I don't know, I feel like that kind of jarring, like, boom, your life's over. It's done. Would have been a lot more effective than the weird static shit he does that just kind of comes out of nowhere. I don't love that, and I think it kind of takes away from a lot of the aura he had. And I would have much preferred to see it be executed a different way, but I think there's a lot of really great bones to this jump scare, but its final execution, I think, is just, it leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm gonna say B tier for Nightmare. Jacko Chica. It's just a fucking reskin. It's like literally the same fucking thing. So, it's still good, but it's just jack-o'-lantern now. Oh fuck, that's right. The cupcake becomes a jack-o'-lantern. Never mind. Fuck no. This is S tier. This is easy S tier. Jacko Bonnie. My opinions about Nightmare Bonnie pretty much move on to Jacko Bonnie. They're more or less the same character. I like that you can see through his head, too, so in a way it's kind of like an homage to FNAF 2 Bonnie, or Withered Bonnie. I think that's kind of nifty. Fuck it, yeah, well, we'll put him in A tier as well. Up next, we have Nightmarian. Why the fuck isn't it named Nightmarionette? What feral gator shit is this, dude? You cannot tell me you didn't have enough fucking, like, letters available to spell out Nightmarionette when Nightmare Balloon Boy is on your goddamn roster. Why is it called Nightmare? This really bothers me. Fuck you. You're Nightmarionette to me. Nightmarionette's jump scare sucks. You know, I mean, Nightmares was good in the sense that it had a certain degree of aura to it, I guess you would say. Whereas Nightmarionette is like, it's just, you know, he's just copying his whole flow. The sound effect doesn't change, it's still just a static image. It's kind of really a shame because Nightmarionette's design overall is really strong. Like, Nightmarionette is genuinely unnerving to look at and is exactly what I would imagine a nightmare derivative of the puppet. But, like, a good design doesn't mean that, like, it's better for it. It still has a shit execution, the same execution that didn't work for me the first time, but now all the bareness is gone. So I'm gonna, you know, fuck you, D tier. Nightmarian. Nightmare Balloon Boy. Is it bad to say that I feel like Balloon Boy fits FNAF 4 infinitely better than Plushtrap? Mechanics are obviously the fucking same, but like, it makes sense for his animatronic to appear. Like, we see the toy animatronics in the cutscene for FNAF 4, so clearly they exist. So why isn't it Balloon Boy in the base game? Why is it Plushtrap, a character that was only introduced probably 30 years after the events of FNAF 4? I don't know, it bothers me a lot, but I will say, this is a good fucking jump scare. For starters, Nightmare Balloon Boy's design is just absolutely phenomenal and fits the vibe of FNAF 4 a lot better than Plushtrap's, in my opinion. Plushtrap kind of looks like he was ripped from an adult Netflix animated series that gets canceled after one season and memed on forever. Like, I don't know, that's a visceral disgust on my part. But Nightmare Balloon Boy, you know, he was annoying in the first game, and in this one, he is just fucking horrifying. The rows of teeth, the weird wiggly things he's going with his hands, like, I don't know, it really works for me. So much so that it probably should have been the actual jump scare that was in the base game. So, I'm gonna say S tier for Nightmare Balloon Boy. And finally, we have Nightmare Mangle. Nightmare Mangle suffers from the same issues that I have with Foxy, since again it is just a reskin at the end of the day. Their design is infinitely scarier and better executed just because of all the different colors on display, but like, it's still just a fucking head poking out of the closet, and then, you know, a not phenomenal jump scare after the fact. Like, Mangle's second head doesn't do anything in the jump scare. The main head attacks you and tries to kill you. The other one's just like, yeah, kind of there along for the ride. I liked the idea that they talk to each other and that they're really fucking catty bitches. That's what I want to live in, that world. Overall, the jump scare is kind of freaky, primarily because like the spider-like design of Mangle is just on the tin a lot spookier looking than Nightmare Foxy. But I really don't think like it elevates it any further than his. B tier for Nightmare Mangle. Gotta be consistent. Gotta keep it consistent with them. Technically, Baby doesn't have a jump scare, unless you count like this. I wouldn't, personally, but also I made the pushpin thing, before realizing she didn't have one. So I'm gonna say that Baby is in completely arbitrary C tier. C for cutscene. I will punt a Baby, bro. Don't even fucking test me. Is it a compliment to say that something looks its best when it's heavily obscured? That feels like a backhanded compliment. Like, you wouldn't tell your lover that. Or maybe you would if you're a fucking asshole. They're essentially the exact same jump scares, but like one of them is actively only illuminated by the player, like with their flashlight and whatnot for story mode, and it looks a lot better there. Versus in the custom night, like, holy shit, that's just not fucking scary. I would fuck that thing up. Dude, call me Nappa the way I would fuck up that bald little shit. I could kill that thing with a sneeze. This tier list actually should have been which animatronics I thought I could best in a fight. Maybe that'll be Patreon content. Give me a thumbs down in the comment section if you want that. I just don't think it has really, like, any good execution in the custom night. Like in story mode, it's damn near perfect, from the illumination, from the buildup of it, hearing it and seeing its eyes peek through the holes. Like, there's some great shit happening there. And then the gay-ass nanny baby kills you in custom night if you don't check the camera and wipe your ass 4 times. I don't know how its mechanic works. I forgot its name 5 times in the production of this. High highs and low lows for Biddy Bab. So we're gonna give them a semi-respectable B tier. I'm layering it now. I don't know why. Fun Time Freddy. It's fine. I think most of the opening your face jump scares are kind of hit or miss. Some of them are like really good, which we'll get to. Other ones like this, it's just very run-of-the-mill. It's like, I can't particularly say that there was a good scare reason for your face to open up, good sir, because the inside still looks like bare. I see Scott Cawthon's designs, especially for like the wiring work and the mechanical aesthetics of each of these animatronics, more interesting than I do scary. Like, Ennard is not scary to me in the slightest. It's just a neat proof of concept character. It's pretty mid, in my opinion. Like, knowing what we know about some of like his internal stuff, it'd be cool if like he tried to shove you in his stomach or some shit like that. I think he was the one that vored children, right? I'm not crazy, right? C tier for Mr. Bear. What the fuck is going on over here? Funtime Foxy's jump scares are okay. They kind of range from like perfectly passable to just kind of goofy and stupid. Fuck it, I'll be mean. The story mode jump scare is fine, but it sort of suffers from the same issue that I had with Funtime Freddy, where the opening of the face just doesn't really enhance much of the horror. I like the dynamic movement of them jumping at you, which is very reminiscent to earlier Foxy iterations. Some might say all of them. I think that's a nice touch, but it's also a very weak compliment to give it, which is, hey, look, it did the thing that all the other ones did in the past. That's nifty. As for the custom night jump scare, this is so fucking stupid. What is this weird lean in? This feels like a meme reaction to something, dude. Like, this is, Libby, why'd you turn the music off? I almost respect how weird and campy it looks, but also, why? Is it scary? Fuck no. But is it hilarious? Oh yes. Yeah, you're going in C tier as well. Up next we have Ballora. I'm gonna do something a bit differently with Ballora, and I'm gonna start with her custom night jump scare, primarily because I think it is adequate. It's passable. It's like, it's what you would expect from a jump scare made literally for some side content for a project that was already out and done. Her story mode jump scare, I think, might be my favorite in all of Sister Location. Ballora's story mode jump scare is my answer to the question of why do any of them open up their faces if they're not scarier on the inside? Ballora is scarier on the inside. Come to think of it, I've described a lot of women in my life like that. When Ballora opens her face, not only is it amplified by that dynamic lighting and shadow work we talked about earlier, but also there's more to see. From sharp razor teeth to her eyes finally being on display. Oh my God, it's a breath of fresh air. It's like a cool glass of water in the middle of the fucking desert. Like, God, this is what Scott was after when he had them open up their faces. This is it, perfected. It's a shame it was only done once. The build-up to get to her jump scare as well, from listening to her audio cues as she slowly gets closer and closer and then inevitably gets ya. Like, oh, there is so much to like about her story mode jump scare. Fuck it, you know, even though her custom night jump scare doesn't really inspire a lot in me, I think what's there on display in the story mode is good enough for S tier. Yeah, I'm thinking S tier for Ballora. I'm treating her better than William ever did. These things are scary. I'm glad mini-arenas exist, because to me it seems like an apology for Night Marionette not having an actual jump scare. This is how a long, weird freak with a white masked face would move and would jump scare you. If FNAF 4's Night Marionette jump scare was made like this, which I'd love to see by the way, it probably would be S tier, in all honesty. Especially if it had the same eyes, like, ugh. But for what it is as a sideshow animatronic jump scare, I think it's pretty good. You know, it's quick, it's efficient, it's scary to look at, and it's not opening its face like a fucking Drake Sprite commercial. In fact, a little bit above average for some of the jump scares we've seen thus far, but I don't think S tier. So I'm gonna say A tier for the mini-arena. Ennard. Like microplastics, there's a little bit of him in every body. Ennard has 4 different jump scares, because he's literally 4 fuckers. The fully naked Ennard jump scares are pretty good. I like the one where they jump at you and, you know, proceed to scream. I tolerate the one where he jumps up and he's like wiggling his upper lip at you. And it's sometimes so difficult to see what's going on, you may genuinely not be scared. Ennard is interesting because like the dynamic shading and lighting work we talked about before is really hit or miss with him. And like, sometimes it's great, sometimes it's really not. His mass jump scares range from fucking god-awful to, passable. There's definitely a dick-sucking joke you can make about this jump scare. I think this one's fine. I like the way he just kind of jumps up, you know? It's like an excited puppy, you know? He's just happy to see you. I'm kind of really endeared by that. What I think would have really helped elevate a lot of Ennard's jump scares is probably, and say it with me, a sound design change. Ennard is multiple different animatronics just kind of ramshackled, slammed together to create a somewhat ambulatory creature. Wouldn't it make sense if some of its jump scares were like indicative of that. Maybe cut in the middle of like one jump scare we hear like bass boosted Balora's theme, or perhaps like we hear one of like, this would be revisionism obviously, but like Funtime Foxy's like announcer voice or something like that. Maybe Baby's voice in between. That'd be kind of interesting. I just never got the vibe that Ennard was actually multiple different like creatures put together. Like the eyes, I guess, is like the best indication of that, but like for all the designs of the Funtime animatronics, like I wasn't paying attention to the fucking eyes. Which one of them had a party hat? I don't remember that shit. Anyways, yeah, B tier. Sorry, Ennard, but you're basic. Up next, we have...
Get ready for a surprise!
Ladies and gentlemen, and those beyond the binary, I am here to happily welcome... Yes, welcome to Bon Bon! Bon Bon, how you doing, buddy? I didn't catch a fucking word of that. Oh, poor Bon Bon. Your fate was sealed from the start. They expected me to find a jump scare coming from a creature who spends its entire life with a bear's fist up its ass scary? Well, it does make me feel something. Bon Bon is the joke answer of like, yeah, who would be good to give a jump scare to? That's right up there with the cupcake. Well, obviously you give one to the Bonnie hand puppet. How'd I do? Was that good? Bon Bon's textures are nice, and I like the kind of movement to it, but like, there is no world in which I find this scary. I'm gonna say B tier, cause it's fine, but it like doesn't blow my soul. Fuck! That's A tier for Bon Bon. Yep. Ugh. Bon Bon if he was woke. Immediate D tier. Finally, we have Yendo. Fuck this guy. What an uninspiring jump scare. He just fucking stands in front of your screen and yabbers. Fucking jabbers at you. Guy jaw jacks. Holy looping gifts, Batman. Scary Bear number 69 really moved the ballpark with... Fuck you, Yendo. D tier. Yeah, D tier for Yendo. I genuinely do not understand its existence in the game whatsoever. Like... Fucking, did Freddy just strip everything off before deciding to vogue in your office space? Look, I'll accept Lolbit and like the internet's weird fascination with her. Sure, I'll buy that. Fine, fuck it. Another Fox character from a FNAF game? You're basically selling blood to vampires here. But Yendo? It just cannot wrap my... You know what? There we go. What can be said about the jump scares in FNAF 6? Probably mostly expletives. I'm sorry, but FNAF 6 jump scares fucking suck donkey penis. It's just routinely shit after shit after shit. I feel like I'm on laxatives with how consistent it's just shit after shit. It's not good. But starting off the shit mountain, let's start with Scrap Baby.
Document results.
I like her design, even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that she was able to, you know, ramshackle put herself back together. I don't know where she got new pigtails that are completely... Where did she source that? Her salvage minigame jump scare is probably the best of the entire game, to be honest with you. Some of the positions that she's in, like when she's getting closer and closer to striking, are like really creepy looking, and the weird head turn movement she does during one of the jump scares as she vaults over the table in an attempt to kill you is really pretty good. Is it like mind-blowing or like, you know, pushing the envelope? Fuck no, but we will take any small degree of goodness we can get from FNAF 6. So I gotta say, that's probably where the good things to say about this game stop. You'll see this come up a couple times, but every single time there is an office jump scare, it fucking blows. Part of it is the fact that there's now a turning your head mechanic, and so oftentimes animatronics can literally clip through the wall or like be moving at a different frame rate as where your head is turning, making them look super choppy and fucking weird. And it's just really badly executed. Like, you look at this, and then you look at this, And it's like, how are these made by the same person? And how is this one the newer of the two? Her jump scare in the office looks like a superimposed animation that was just slapped over existing gameplay. Like, this looks like some shit you would see in early FNAF fan game. And I do mean that derogatively. But all that being said, with the salvage minigame, I have to give it at least a C tier because I had something nice to say about it. I really can't promise that for the rest of these motherfuckers. Up next, and speaking of not having nice things to say, Springtrap.
I always come back. That was easier than I thought it would be.
Springtrap is stupid. You peeked at Springtrap's design. You made him small and look like a fucking Adult Swim character, and then you gave him feet. What, Scott Cawthon, why did you give him feet? Springtrap's design is just not nearly as effective as Springtrap's. Like, even the rotting human underneath the rabbit shell is kind of done, like, not nearly as well. When I look at this freak's mandible, like, in between the teeth of the rabbit mask, his bone structure and his facial structure is like giving 1996 Pixar characters when they were still trying to figure out how to make humans look like human. It feels like such a downgrade. The salvage jump scare is not great. He just crawls on the table and he mean mugs you. And then he says some stupid shit like,
I always come on your back.
I think that's the quote. It's just not exciting. It's just not interesting. There's no interesting animation or characteristics that have to do with this salvage jump scare to make it unique in any way. Like, I liked how kind of uncanny Scrap Baby moved. He's got nothing going for him. He's just a weaker design with a weaker execution and weaker jump scares. His office jump scare looks like ass booty butthole. Ass booty butthole. Do you understand why I use such verbose language so often? It's to counteract when I become infantile. His office jump scare suffers from the same clipping issues and same implementation problems that just make it look incredibly out of place and very rushed, but nah, fuck this guy. We're giving him D tier. I do not care for Springtrap. I think that he should have stayed in the original rabbit soup because there ain't no goddamn way they're the same one.
Document results.
Molten Freddy had some nice potential. Like, this feels more like what an actual fully realized scary Enter design would look like, even if he did just smack another goddamn bear mask on his face. Like, buddy, you could have been a chicken. Yeah, you could have been a rabbit. If he wanted to really freak me out, Enter would have, like, have the entire rest of his body would just, like, put fucking Von on top of his head. That would be scary. His salvage jump scare is kind of mid. It's animated all right, but the problem with it is that its design is kind of really difficult to see when it's not illuminated, and it's kind of still difficult to see at the beginning of his jump scare, meaning you're going to be spending the first couple of microseconds getting jump scared by him, trying to figure out what the fuck you're looking at, and by then it kind of stops being scary. Like, oh, is that Funtime Freddy? Did he get on Ozempic? His office jump scare might be the worst in the game. Oh my fucking god. How is this allowed? It boggles my mind how bad this looks. It's so badly implemented. It does not look like it was made by the same guy who created such amazing jump scares as Bonnie's or Golden Freddy's or even Belora's the game before. I'm gonna say D tier for Molten Freddy. Just downgrade after downgrade after downgrade. Lastly, we've got the woke bear himself, Lefty.
You can only use it 3 times before it begins to damage the animatronic and decrease its value. Begin audio prompt in 3, 2...
Lefty's salvage jump scare is fine. Like, it's about on par with every single other, like, mid-bear face in yours jump scare that we've seen thus far. I don't think Lefty's design is really all that particularly scary to begin with, so I'm not like particularly inclined to think, oh my god, that's really spooky. That was a bear in my face. Like, it's kind of really old hat by now. Do you know how often I've seen this? Don't listen to him. A million! I've seen a million bear jump scares in my face. Both as a gay person as well as a FNAF enjoyer. Which, yes, that is redundant. The Office jump scare is like bad in a unique way from everyone else where you can kind of count the fucking frames in it as it happens. I'm gonna go 3 for 3 and say D tier for Lefty. I'm sorry, FNAF 6, but you, kinda suck. Yeah, mostly bad with one girl boss. Jesus Christ. Ultimate Custom Night is such an interesting installment in the FNAF mythos, because it's like, I think it's supposed to be hell for William Afton, or for whomever killed all the children, which I'm pretty sure was William Afton, but he's like in it twice, so I don't know quite how the lore works on that. Long story short, Ultimate Custom Night is important for the fan base because it was the first time they got the largest amount of characters to play with, which means a lot of jump scares, which means varying quality. We have a fuck ton to get through, so I hope you will forgive me if I'm a little bit more glib and less long-winded about the buffet before us. Fuck me. Freddy Fazbear from FNAF 1. Freddy Backshots. Freddy Fuckbear. Faz Fuck Internet. It's very obviously a looping GIF, but that is actually not the laziest jump scares can get in Ultimate Custom Night, so I'm inclined to feel a little bit nicer to it, give it a bit more grace. Is it scary? Not really. Is it at all like the original? Not really. But I mean, if you've ever found Freddy Fazbear attractive, then what the fuck is wrong with B tier for Bear? Up next, we got Bonnie the Bunny of Five Nights at Freddy's 1E. I think it's kind of funny. Why is he in Pirate's Cove? Why is he screaming? This seems like such like this is like a shit post jump scare that Scott put in for the fuck of it. I don't get it, but it makes me giggle, and I am so bereft of any joy from Ultimate Custom Night and its jump scares that I'll fucking take it. Is it scary? Maybe the first time might be jarring, but it's mostly just fucking hilarious, which, I'll be honest, does it for me. Fuck it. I'm gonna say B tier. Up next, we have Chica the Chicken from Five Nights at Freddy's Wiccan.
I'm gonna do a sneaky thing and throw a new container.
I actually don't hate this one as much as I thought I would. It's not nearly as egregious as some of like the wiggle move, like full body movement ones we'll see later in the video. And I think it kind of keeps a lot of the uncanny charm that existed for her jump scare in the first Five Nights at Freddy's. So I'm inclined to feel a little bit nicer about it compared to where we're gonna go. I keep alluding to how bad this list is gonna get as a result of Ultimate Custom Night, and just you wait. I think the head movement for a lot of the jump scares that we're gonna be talking about is at times kind of weird and stilted, and at other times just fucking goofy. But I feel like it kind of fits here. Like, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, that's a Chica jump scare. That makes sense. It's animated pretty well. It is very obviously a looping GIF, but also I think there's enough going on there that, like, even if you notice, it's passable. So I'm gonna say, in regards to the entire rest of Ultimate Custom Night, in which we are grading on a curve, A tier for Chica. And lastly, from FNAF 1, we have Foxy.
Never underestimate the cunning of a pirate. Or a fox, for that matter.
Absolute dog shit. Honest to God, one of the most unfortunate things I've ever had the displeasure of seeing with my fucking eyes. It's like if you had a Foxy doll and you proceeded to beat the camera to death with it. This jump scare is probably like what the crying child would see every morning when his brother would sneak in the room with the fucking Foxy mask and scare the piss out of him. Like, I cannot take this shit seriously. Why is he moving like that? To illustrate my issues with this jump scare, I'm going to be using another character with red fur, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. Is this scary? Is this scary to you? Are you frightened? Oh, he lost his face halfway through. That probably was scary. Oh shit. I'm gonna say D tier for Foxy, because this is genuinely one of the worst jump scares I think I've ever seen within the entire series, and especially in Ultimate Custom Night. Like, if I could give this F tier, I would. Actually... Oh, it feels good to be an asshole. F tier for Foxy. Fuck him, he doesn't even get to be straight. There's probably a lot of fan fictions about that. Up next, we got Toy Freddy of FNAF 2 fame.
Mr. Hubbs got me again.
Slow, stilted, kind of awkward. Jump scared like a real gamer. I don't love Toy Freddy in this game. I think his jump scare is pretty mid, obviously. And even his mechanic is kind of stupid. Like, hey, if I wanted to keep track of a fat bear's gamer rage, I'd fucking open up Grindr. He does look a bit like he's fucking you, so I guess there's that for him. So I'm gonna say C tier for Toy Freddy. It looks like he's very awkwardly attempting to remove your bra. And that is scary, but not in the way I think Scott intended. Up next, our queen, Toy Chica from FNAF 2. It looks like she's dancing, and it's not particularly scary. She's kind of doing like that weird like sidestep dance from Die Every Wimpy Kid. This is such a pull. No one's gonna get this fucking reference. It feels kind of mid to me. Not Toy Chica. Certainly not Toy Chica. Just the jump scare on display here. It's very basic for a very bad bitch, and that makes me sad. I'm gonna say fuck it, D tier. I'm mean. I'm an asshole now. Up next, we got Toy Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
I'm working late, 'cause I'm a singer.
They do call it fucking like rabbits for a reason. What's there to say about this one? It looks like he's reenacting every FNAF 2 porn animation known to man, which I wouldn't know about. I'm gonna say C tier for Toy Bonnie, because as shitty as it looks, it also does make me giggle. Up next, we have Mangle of FNAF 2. I fucked up her pushpin, so it's actually Phantom Mangle, who you will likely notice does not actually appear in Ultimate Custom Night. So, bear with me.
I get to play take apart and put back together. You won't feel a thing.
I think Mangle's jump scare is serviceable. I'm kind of sad that they're not like coming down and swooping from the top of your office to bite off your cranium. Like in the second game, I feel like that's kind of a missed opportunity, but also from what's on display here, it's not a bad looking GIF, it's not a bad looking jump scare, and comparatively, it's one of the stronger ones in this game for sure. Mangle's design, I think, really does them a lot of help, where they're just kind of consistently scary regardless of the context and regardless of the game, and sort of the jump scare as well. So I'm gonna say A tier for Mangle. They remain consistently scary after all this time, though they have done better in the past. The Puppet from FNAF 2.
The others are under my protection.
Man, fuck you. Y'all want to see my Ultimate Custom Night Puppet impression? Woo! 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 Q-tip! Can it get any lazier than a PNG shaking on the screen? Maybe. Give me like 2 more entries and I'll show it to you. Yeah, F tier. F tier. It's a fucking PNG shaking scary on the screen. This is like F tier. Fuck you, puppet. Up next, we have Withered Chica from Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Wow. I mean, wow. This is a Smiling Friends jump scare. Does that make sense? Like this is some shit you'd see in an episode of Smiling Friends. Like so over the top in your face, like you can't take this seriously. What is she doing? Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but like, I prefer when my Five Nights at Freddy's jump scares don't look like they were ripped off from fucking Monsters Inc. Scare Island. That's an even crazier pull. I love that game. I'm mentally unwell. That's gonna be an F tier for Withered Chica. F tier for what the fuck? Up next we have Withered Bonnie of FNAF 2.
Might as well face the facts. You were always destined to fail.
Don't piss me off. If the puppet was a nothing burger, this is like a nothing crouton. I got nothing to sink my teeth into here. Neither does he. Look, I get it. Ultimate Custom Night is like a really big, mechanically complex game, and so you can't have every single jump scare be like Bellora's or like fucking any of the chicas I've mentioned thus far. But brother, certainly we could do better than shaky PNG on the screen to end your night. Especially when, like, Chica's is actually animated. There's no consistency. There's no consistent through line for, like, the animatronics from each individual. It hurts my head, and I don't like it. F tier. Up next, we have Golden Freddy. You could call Golden Freddy's jump scares my dating life, the way it just keeps getting worse and worse. Every installment, they neuter him a little bit more. The mystique that existed for this character is gone. And at this point, Scott's not even attempting to make it scary anymore. I mean, static PNG. The Golden Freddy head doesn't even fly towards you anymore. It's just sad. It's pitiful. I hate it. It's such a fall from grace for a character that used to be like the secret, mysterious ghost character in all of the series, haunting each and every game, is now just down to, nah, we'll give him a static PNG image that takes up the screen, and it won't even crash your game. F tier. F tier for Golden Freddy. God, F tier might be the biggest one on this list, and you know what? Deserved.
Ready or not, here I come.
He's back.
He's back! I mean, it's not the worst jump scare in the world. Like, coming after every single one we just discussed, you kind of see what I mean. Like, even the really obviously looping GIFs one are kind of a breath of fresh air when your, like, baseline is shaky PNG to just PNG. I don't think this jump scare is bad, but I think it fundamentally kind of just destroys any of the consistency that existed with Springtrap's earlier jump scares. Springtrap's jump scares in FNAF 3 were these fluid, weird, almost like corpse-like movements that were completely different from every other jump scare we'd seen up to this point in the series. And here, yeah, it's just another jaw-jacker. It is great by Ultimate Custom Night standards, but kinda shit by Springtrap standards. I'm gonna break our F tier combo and put Springtrap in D tier. Up next we have Phantom Freddy of FNAF 3. I really don't mind the, like, static PNG for the Phantoms, just because I feel like you can play pretty fast and loose with, like, what is essentially a literal ghost character. Like, sure, they just pop up on the screen for a second, they leave you disoriented, and you gotta fix your ventilation or some shit. Okay, I'll buy that. It's really just a lazier execution of what they did in FNAF 3, but, like, the base game mechanics and effects are pretty much the same. It's just, you know, not nearly as good. I don't think it's nearly as bad as, like, say, Golden Freddy, per se, but also it's definitely a downgrade comparatively to the original Phantom Freddy jump scare, but I mean, I'll let it slide this time. Up next, we got Phantom Balloon Boy of FNAF 3. I don't like that when he's on the camera, his head is pointing one direction, but when he jump scares you, it, like, slaps to another one. Yeah, I am so strapped for shit to talk about for these jump scares. I am scrutinizing animatronic head placement. My life is not going well. I'm gonna say D tier for Balloon Boy. I just don't like him. I don't like him. Phantom Freddy? Fine. No issue with him. Fuck this guy. Up next, we have Nightmare Freddy of FNAF 4. It's kind of weird seeing the Nightmare animatronics, like, move in a way very different from how they did in FNAF 4. Like, it's weird to get jump scared by Nightmare Freddy and not, like, begin floating from him picking you up and trying to chuck you into a basketball hoop like 20 meters away. It's a little odd, but I don't think it like completely neuters the character's scare factor. Nightmare Freddy is still a really well-designed, creepy-looking animatronic, and even animated in the piss-poor, quickly strapped together style of Ultimate Custom Night, I think that it, could be a lot worse, but I'm inclined to feel a lot better about this one because it feels like it actually has a lot more intentionality put into it. I'm gonna say B tier for Nightmare Freddy. Up next, we have Nightmare Bonnie of FNAF 4.
My penis is big.
I think there is way too much frenetic movement here. The Nightmare animatronics, as they were displayed in their original jump scares in FNAF 4, and just design-wise, are these hulking monstrosities that have very big, deliberate movements. Whereas here, as a fucking speed freak. It's still scary-ish, because again, it's a Nightmare animatronic, and those are just freaky-looking guys, but I think it really betrays a lot of what made the original jump scares for Nightmare Bonnie and Jacko Bonnie work so well, which was like these big, deliberate, like, hulking movements. It felt like you were being attacked by a monster, not getting, like, fucking 15 consecutive punches from Bonnie Rabot. Okay, maybe Nightmare Balloon Boy is like the actual, like, doped up speed freak here, but irregardless. I'm gonna say D tier for Nightmare Bonnie. Our cunty girl boss is back, everybody. We've got Nightmare Chica and Jacko Chica of FNAF 4 fame. Why does Chica technically get 2 jump scares in Ultimate Custom Night? Because she's a bad bitch, and you can't tell her no. You're gonna step up to this? I'm kind of sad there's no Cupcake in FNAF Ultimate Custom Night. I feel like that would have been a really nice addition, but, when do I ever get what I want? I'm gonna rank these two together because they are very similar, and they're ostensibly the same character, but I think Jacko Chica is a little bit weaker than Nightmare Chica's jump scare. I kind of really like the more frenetic movement for, like, Nightmare Chica. I know it's weird because I just talked shit about Nightmare Bonnie doing that, but, like, I don't know. Chica's always felt like a force of nature in FNAF 4. So, like, having her, like, move her head side to side as she takes big bites at you, it's like I'm getting attacked by a goose, which, if you're on my Discord server, is a real possibility. The beauties of nature. Such wonderful things. Look at this weird dog I found. As for Jacko Chica, I really will never understand Scott's reasoning for making, like, in the looping GIFs, it look like the animatronic is taking a step back before going back in for more. I really don't it looks like they're doing a shitty version of The Hustle, and it just completely kills the fear factor of it every single time, in my opinion. So I'm gonna say D tier for Jacko Chica, but I'm gonna say C tier for Nightmare Chica. Up next, we have Nightmare Fredbear of FNAF 4.
Let's see how many times you can be pulled apart.
This boy big. They can barely fit him on the screen, this motherfucker's so huge. What saves this jump scare a fair amount, I think, is primarily just Nightmare Fredbear's design, as previously talked about. It's really strong, and it works pretty much in any way he's animated. I don't think it's the cream of the crop, mind you, but I mean, I think it's probably about on par with his FNAF 4 one. In your face, freaky, hopefully not too long on screen, so it has more of a lasting effect to it, but I'm gonna say A tier. Fuck it, I'll be a little bit nice. I got a soft spot for big yellow bears. I don't know what it is. Up next, we have Nightmare of FNAF 4 fame.
You will not be spared. You will not be saved.
Well, at least he's actually moving this time. It's weird to see Nightmare actually animated, but I mean, It is just essentially Fredbear reskinned. It's neat to see him animated, but like it's also kind of a complete betrayal of like the entire vibe they were going for Nightmare in FNAF 4, of like this weird freak of nature, like death incarnate that just stares at you in your final moments. It kind of neuters a lot of the horror that existed there when he just moves like any other animatronic. He's ultimately, at the end of the day, just a reskin of Fredbear, but not a very good one. So I'm gonna say C tier for Nightmare. I don't think it's altogether terrible, but also it's like, he's already a character that I think was a little bit squandered in its original game, and in here, it really doesn't do him any favors. Plushtrap of FNAF 4 fame. It looks like he's trying to tear your fucking eyes out. I guess there's that. I think the quick-paced, frenetic jump scare style works a little bit better for him because he's so small and freaky. But like, it's pretty clear that wasn't intentional because they took away the high-pitched sound design for his jump scare in this. So like, he just sucks. I hate him. F tier. If somebody sends me a plush trap, I will actively beat it to death live on camera. Beat it to death again? I don't fucking know. Send me plushes, I'll hurt them.
Yar, me bird likes you, so I'll do ye a favor.
Ah, shaky PNG, we meet again. Is Nightmare Mangle a boy or is Nightmare Mangle a girl? Nightmare Mangle is a letdown. We're gonna do D tier for Nightmare Mangle, because it's just great character design that I really liked, just being given zero effort whatsoever. It makes me cry. Up next, we have Night Marionette. Up next, we have Nightmare Balloon Boy of FNAF 4.
Come closer. Help me count my teeth.
It's stupid. It looks stupid. This is another Smiling Friends ass jump scare. But I gotta be honest, I'm really endeared to it. I don't know what it is about Nightmare Balloon Boy. He's really grown on me. I think the fact he looks like a toilet a little bit, like a toilet seat, like, and to me, this was my, I'm gonna tell my kids this was my skibbity toilet. Fuck it, we'll put him in B tier. Up next, we have Circus Baby of Sister Location.
I guess you forgot about me.
You know, this is actually like Circus Baby's first legit jump scare, like unless you count the one in the trailer for Sister Location. And I think that's kind of both crazy and a little bit sad that it had to happen in Ultimate Custom Night. It's not phenomenal. I mean, it shares about all the same problems I had with the original Sister Location jump scares, where like the face opening up isn't really all that more scary to me. And also it keeps closing back. Like, I don't know. It's so obviously a looping GIF, but like, why are you opening and closing your face? Does that increase the scare factor? I'm gonna say B tier for Baby. Up next, we have Sister Location's Ballora.
Admit it, you wanted to let me in.
It's kind of like the perfect fusion of the worst qualities of her two jump scares from Sister Location. The face opens up, but it's not all that much more scarier, and it keeps closing back and forth so quickly that you're likely not even to make anything out. It's just disappointing. You hate to see a girl boss fall from grace. We're gonna put D tier for Ballora, D tier for Dead Wife. Up next, we have Funtime Foxy of Sister Location.
A performance was demanded of me, and now I have delivered. Encore!
I think this one might be one of the better animated ones, aside from the very obvious loopingness of its jump scare. Like, you could slot this into FNAF 1 somewhere, and it probably wouldn't look too out of place. But for a Sister Location jump scare, I'm gonna say B tier for Funtime Foxy. Could be a lot better, could be a shit ton worse. Speaking of a shit ton worse, it's Enter time. Static PNG. Ennard gets nothing. Ennard deserves nothing good in his entire life, and he will never be given anything good in his entire life. That's an easy F tier for Ennard. This guy takes more L's than a New Yorker in a time loop. Up next, we have Helpy of FNAF 6 fame. It's perfect. S tier. Did I do that because my friend Eros would kill me if I didn't? Yeah, you, my friend, are a product of nepotism. I have so little respect for this run of jump scares right here that I'm going to rank all of them with a single sentence and then just put them on the board without any further elaboration. She's fine, but when it comes to frog-inspired characters, I can think of a lot scarier. C tier. It's a cute gimmick for a while, and then it becomes really annoying, and then it becomes just fucking stupid. D tier. The last frame kills me, and I wish it was really slow and methodical, like just one jump scare out of the entirety of them that's just like really fucking drags on. I think it would fit the character well, but it doesn't do that, so D tier. He's got the homophobia in his eyes, but he's a cop. D tier. He's stupid and he makes me smile. A tier. I will stick that wand so far up your ass it will make your next colonoscopy feel magical. D tier. The Rockstar animatronics look like such an interesting like crossover between the toy and the original Five Nights at Freddy's animatronics, and I really like that. I like their designs, I like the color choices, and their jump scares are, well, they're jump scares. First up, we've got Rockstar Freddy.
Please deposit 5 coins. Please deposit, please deposit, please deposit.
Please deposit 5 coins.
Maybe it's the fact that this is an animated jump scare from a character we've never seen have a jump scare before, and so I'm willing to give a little bit more leeway, but like, I kind of don't hate it. I like the frenetic movement on this. I feel like this fits him better having not known what this like character would move like originally. Maybe they are that quick. Maybe they are that freaky and moving around. I don't know. It's not my favorite in the world, but I mean, it's something. I don't think it's terrible. I'm gonna go with A tier. Next, we have Rockstar Bonnie.
So good to see you again, my truest friend. But now your life must end.
Okay, I spoke too soon. I like it far less on Bonnie. I don't know. I think he moves around a little bit too much, and it's not so much the frenetic speed of it as it is like, it looks like he's on a turnpike going back and forth and back and forth. Is this a turnpike? I don't know. I've never skated it before in my life. We're gonna do C tier for Rockstar Bonnie.
I may not like wet floors, but the smell of fresh meat is just too enticing.
What's there to say about Rockstar Chica? She shakes the maracas. She eats hot chip and lies. I love a woman who shakes the maracas. Her last frame of her jump scare looks like she's trying to bore you. You know, I may have been at this a little too long. Fuck it, B tier for Rockstar Chica. Up next, we got Rockstar Foxy.
Yar, you win some, you lose some. Yarg, you play with fire, and sometimes you get burned.
Not really a whole lot to say about Rockstar Foxy. I mean, his jump scare is very fast, very jittery, which I don't love, but I'm willing to forgive a little bit. My main issue with his is that his jump scare is probably always going to be pissing you off more than scaring you, given how his mechanic works with clicking on his parrot and, you know, deciding whether he actually jump scares you or not. I don't know. I got a lot of scare factors going to be out the window as you just get more and more pissed off at him. I'm gonna say D tier for Rockstar Foxy. Up next, we have Music Man.
You hear that? It's the sweet, sweet sound of your eternal silence.
This might be the only static PNG jump scare that fucking works. I can make out next to nothing on his face for how quickly he's moving, and I kinda hate that that is effective. I'm gonna say A tier because there is no God in this room anymore, just me and 1,000 grinning faces. I'm in danger. Up next we have Molten Freddy. Fuck out of here! Up next we have Afton because Scraptrap wasn't a good enough nickname for him.
I always come.
Fuck it, it's better than anything he ever gave us in FNAF 6. B tier. I'm feeling generous. Getting there, bitch. Up next we have Scrap Baby.
You won't die, but you'll wish you could.
Again, another jump scare with a lot of movement and a lot of jittery back and forth that doesn't really fit the character as best as I think it could. I guess it kinda makes sense because I think Scrap Baby is on skates. So maybe that's the reason why she's moving from left to right so much across the screen, because she's like actively falling in the middle of this jump scare. Actually, I talked my way into it. I think I'm gonna give this an A tier. A tier for Scrap Baby because at this point, I just need to amuse myself. Next up is Lefty, the woke one.
I'm so glad that I found you. Let me make room for you.
Weirdly enough, Lefty really works for me. It's kind of unsettling in a way. It almost feels uncanny to a degree in a way that a lot of the other jump scares here don't. I think that really works in its favor, and I'm so strapped for positive opinions. Fuck it! Lefty gets S tier. This is the future the woke Lefty wants. Up next we have Bonnet of FNAF Sister Location Custom Night DLC fame. What do you think, Bonbon?
Guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity! Fucking current day Californian shit! Cause that's all we fucking know!
Alright, good enough from you. C tier. I mean, it's not scary, but like, it's a foot tall pink rabbit. I don't know what else you expected. Yeah, D tier. Did I just change it? I don't care. And wrapping up Ultimate Custom Night, we have Fredbear. This is a real weird one. On one hand, it's kind of Ultimate Custom Night's FNAF 1 Golden Freddy secret character thing, but also on the other, it kind of makes no sense whatsoever. Did Fredbear really look like just a reskin of Golden Freddy or Freddy Fazbear of FNAF 1? I thought he was a lot bigger than that. I mean, we know what Nightmare Fredbear looks like, and that motherfucker's huge. I really don't see much of a reason for his inclusion in the game whatsoever. It just does not make a whole lot of sense to me. It is interesting. It is about on par with any other animated jump scare you'd see within the game, even if I feel like it's kind of neutered and a waste of potential. I'm gonna say B tier for Fred Bear. I'm losing it, dude. It's Steel Wool time, baby! Many things can be said about Security Breach, especially about its jump scares, and today, I'm gonna be the one saying them. Security Breach's jump scares really do range from like some of the best in the series, and a great new and interesting twist on the jump scare formula from games past, or wiggle. As a result, these jump scares are gonna be graded a little bit differently since I can't really apply the same rubric that I've been using for all the ones that came before, since Scott didn't make any of these. These were made by a studio instead, and so it's not really fair to grade them on the same curve as, say, a FNAF 1 jump scare. That being said, it is pretty clear, at least with Security Breach, that a lot of the jump scares on display were very much inspired by earlier FNAF jump scares. Go figure, who would have thought that? But without further ado, let's start off with the hottest animatronic we've seen yet, Glam Rock Freddy.
Let's begin by removing Freddy's face. Press Freddy's nose to remove skull housing.
like most of Glam Rock Freddy's jump scare. I like the ending of it, how it genuinely looks like he's about to take an entire bite out of your fucking skull. That's pretty cool. I'm a big fan of that. I don't really love the wiggle leading into it and just kind of how, I don't know, unnatural he seems to move when every other time we see him running around, he's very much a big, like, lumbering robot. I almost called him a hunk. He is a hunk, but like, that wasn't the right descriptor. He's only got the one jump scare as well, though we do see different variations of it for when he's getting upgraded, ranging from, oh, that's kind of spooky, to, so no head. It's like getting jump scared by like a headless bionicle. I love it. It's really stupid. I like that jump scare, but again, it's just essentially a reskin, or even like less so than what we saw before, because they're literally removing parts of his face. They're doing experiments on my husband. I'm gonna say B tier for Glam Rock Freddy. Not a phenomenal start, but also, oh boy, at least we're out of Ultimate Custom Night. Up next, we got Roxy or Roxanne Wolf.
I bet I'm your favorite.
Look, she's a baddie. Nobody's denying that. Her jump scares are kind of mid. It seems so disjointed and like it's just, here, let's wiggle the character model in front of people's faces. That'll do, right? At least with Freddy, he went to the actual effort of opening his mouth to make it look like he was doing something to us, versus Roxy just moving down her nose, giving a sloppy style. And sorry, what was I talking about? I'm thinking C tier for Roxanne Wolf. It's not bad, but this is one of the examples of where it's very clear that Steel Wool was trying to replicate, or at least emulate, Scott's style for jump scares, and they just really should not have. It leaves a lot to be desired. It's this weird middle ground where it's not anything really new, but it's also not like heralding back to past jump scares either. So I'm gonna say C tier. Up next, we got Montgomery Gator. Man, fuck Monty. Guy killed my OTP. Monty's jump scare are really a grab bag of either some really cool shit or just stupid and bad. And fuck him, I hate him. I'm sorry, this ain't doing it for me. I gotta play through an entire golf section just so I can stop seeing you chew gum with your mouth open during your jump scare? Fuck you, Monty. However, once you brutalize him horrifically, Monty becomes a lot scarier. In your damaging of his case, it appears that you have shut off the subroutine for him to be a stupid little bitch, because his broken state jump scares are really good. For one, this is the first time I think I've actually seen a character like that's anthropomorphized based on an animal who actually like exhibits some like traits of that animal. When Monty is broken and he jump scares you, he twists you in circles. He moves you around like a real alligator. That is so fucking cool. And it's like one of those small hints of like, oh wow, you could really tell Steel Wool knew what the fuck they were doing for some of these, and other ones they just really didn't. There's just something really compelling to me about how, like, when he's reduced to his worst state, he goes back to his most base instincts of being a goddamn alligator. I love that. I think that's great. As much as I talk shit about his first jump scare, I gotta be honest with you, his second one really saves the character, in my opinion. I'm thinking A tier for Montgomery Gator. I'm beginning to think that you could really do just about anything with Chica's jump scare. Just about. And it would still be really effective. She's one of those like just foundationally creepy and uncanny designs where really you could do just about any animation or sort of jump scare you'd like, and it could probably be pretty scary. Even the two that she has in her like pre-broken state to scuffed up state, like they're pretty much just rehashes of FNAF 1 Chica's jump scares, and they really work. That was a scary jump scare, and these are too. Her broken jump scare derivative as well is also really, really neat. I know I made fun of like the helicopter arms Chica, like FNAF in real-time jump scare from earlier, and for good reason, it's fucking stupid. But I kinda love this version of Chica's head spinning all the way around in her fucked up state. The sound design of her voice box being completely just destroyed, her gaping maw looking into yours and about to take a bite out of you, it very much screams, hey, dickhead, remember that time you crushed me in a trash compactor? I do! I'm gonna say S tier for Chica. I don't know if I fully get it either, but like this really, really works for me. Up next we have the Blob, or Tangle, or as I call him, Final Molten Freddy. What the fuck do you even call this guy? Does he have a confirmed name? Because like I've seen it as the Blob or Tangle or any other derivative of it like numerous times before. Is it just Molten Freddy Limit Breaker like Super Saiyan 4? I gotta stop referencing that for. I'm sorry, it's just fucking cool. Final Molten Freddy's inclusion in Security Breach is weird, but not altogether unpleasant. Like, I'm okay with a giant robotic soup monster made up of multiple discarded parts of past animatronics, just, you know, killing you. Makes about as much fucking sense as Burn Trap. His jump scare is just him coming up from above and his face opens and he gets you. It's pretty straightforward. It's essentially just a rehash of multiple different jump scares from the past. Is it original? No. But is it effective? Also no. I think the reason Golden Freddy worked so well in the first game was because there was just this general mystique that existed for it, whereas, you know, for the Blob, which is very clearly supposed to be the brand new super weird secret character of Security Breach, it's just kind of ineffective. I'm gonna say C tier for Final Molten Freddy. His mediocrity upsets me. Up next we have the Daycare Attendant, or Sun and Moon, whatever the fuck you like.
Hello, new friend. You're sure I'm late. Are we having a slumber party? Where are all your friends? Stay funny.
People want to fuck this guy? Why? I'd say the Daycare Attendant's jump scare is a lot more creepy than like scary. The wiggling hands and movement of his head as he moves forward to you is like, I wouldn't like call it pants-shittingly scary worthy, but like it is definitely unsettling to look at. Kind of harkens back to like, I want to say Nightmare Balloon Boy in the weird way that his hands moved, but at the same time it doesn't really like blow me away either. If I were to see that like coming at me, I'd be freaked out, but the final jump scare, I'm gonna say C tier for the Daycare Attendant. Up next we have White Woman Jump Scare.
Free map.
Move! Gotcha!
What is there to say about Vanessa? No, seriously, what is there to say about Vanessa? The game certainly didn't want to give her any depth, so what am I supposed to say here? What would? I mean, yeah, but she's hot, and when she does her jump scare and kind of flutters her eyelashes a little bit, it makes me feel like I should take fuck the police like 10% more literally, and it makes me blush, so I guess there's that. I wouldn't call that scary, though. Well, she is a woman directly looking at me, so that is kind of frightening. I don't know, man. It's hard to rank human jump scares, especially when they look and sound like this.
Gregory, I think you deserve a reward. Go check the main stage.
Mommy?
Clean up an aisle. I don't know, B tier. B tier for Vanessa. Is this pretty privilege? Up next we have, oh boy. Look, I'm a simple man. You put a pretty lady in a bunny suit and I start looking like one of them wolves from them 1940s cartoons. Humana, awooga. I like Vanny as a character. I like the way she's designed. Stop it. Stop it right now. I think her jump scare is kind of mid. In fact, I think it's just kind of bad. Especially like when compared to the trailer jump scare that she had. That compared to what we got. Yeah, I would have much preferred the prior. The one that's in the game is just really underwhelming, and I can't necessarily say that I'm frightened by a white woman picking me up and shaking me around in her arms. That might fix me, actually. I don't know, it's hard to rank her in any way that doesn't immediately go to, man, I sure wish that she kept the original jump scare she had, because that was really good. That had good sound design, that had good brevity, that, you know, I said if that was the jump scare she had, it'd be S tier, but. So I'm gonna go, fuck it, we'll put her B tier with, I guess, herself. Up next we have the staff bots. This is gonna be a controversial one.
Hi, please take this map. Take a map.
I'm gonna be so honest with you, I fucking adore the staff bots. Five Nights at Freddy's, the entire franchise really, has been essentially called a jump scare simulator by detractors for years and years and years now. And how funny is it? In its first foray into like a AAA game, they decide to put a jump scare on wheels and put it everywhere. It is annoying, it will grate on you, it fucks up speedruns, it makes your life infinitely more difficult, and I love it. It's one of those things where the first time it happens to you, like, it might scare you, and then it becomes funny, and then it becomes really, really annoying, and if you're a masochistic prick like me, it becomes funny again. That is some crazy commitment to the bit, to have one robot in the game whose entire existence is just to inconvenience you via a jump scare. Whether it be staff bots alerting nearby actual deadly animatronics to your location, or the fucking map bot like jump scaring you just to offer you a map. It's almost a design feature of them. It's an aesthetic choice. Their jump scare is a design feature of the Pizzaplex, whether it be flashbanging you or offering you a map. It is what they do. And with a couple redesigns later in the game that makes them like genuinely kind of freaky to look at, there's a lot to like about the staff bots. So much so that I'm gonna do S tier for them. S tier for staff infection. Up next we have DJ Music Man. Pretty simple jump scare. He turns you into Kid Cuisine. You go into his weird bubble mouth, and it's unpleasant. His reveal, I think, is the best part about his character, because his jump scare's a little bit of a letdown. His mouth looks like a broken texture, for one. I don't know what the hell is going on there. I can't really get an idea of depth, and it doesn't really feel like I'm being shoved into this giant monster's mouth. I don't really see what Matt Pat sees in him, but I mean, it could be a whole lot worse, but it could be a whole lot better. I'm gonna put DJ Music Man in C tier, because I can do whatever the fuck I want. Next up, we have Wind Up Music Man. This might be peak horror design. It's like if Pennywise fucked a toaster, stayed around for its birth, and then sold it to a bunch of spider gangsters for an ounce of fentanyl. Its design is the perfect grab bag of about everything you wouldn't want to see in a dark alley, save for an OVO hoodie. From his twisted grin, to his dead cold eyes, to the way he slams your penis between his two cymbals, there's a lot to love about him. And honestly, fuck it, I'm feeling another S tier. I'm feeling good. We're nearly out of this bitch. Holy shit. Next up, we got the Glam Rock Endoskeleton. It's mid. The jump scares that involve like them grabbing you and getting you closer to their face don't really work quite as well when the thing doesn't have a face. I'm sorry, but I just do not find the endoskeletons, like as they are, freaky. At least they're jump scares. Like getting slowly chased by the thing, that's kind of spooky. That's a little creepy. The inevitable jump scare though is kind of a complete letdown. I'm gonna say C tier because it's not as bad as Yendo, but it could be a lot better too. Time for the DLC that ruined Five Nights at Freddy's. Do you get it? Before I start off with Freddy, I just gotta say, Ruin's jump scares are really, really good. It feels like Steel Wolf finally said, okay, fine, we can't make the same kind of jump scares that Scott Cawthon made, so let's just get creative with it. Ruin's jump scares feels like the fully realized versions of what security breaches could have been. And, well, let's talk about them. First up is Ruin Glamrock Freddy, and first of all, what an awesome redesign.
Freddy! Freddy? Are you okay? Please be functional.
So no head? His design is just so fucking good. It like almost borders on body horror. Just how freakily he moves, from his activation, from his eventual jump scare of like picking you up and putting you into his chest cavity. The same place that used to be a refuge of safety for Gregory is now Cassie's demise. That is such a cool idea for Freddy's jump scare. Like, of course the Protector in his ruined and evil state would see him actively putting you in the same place that once kept you safe. That's so fucking cool. The thing I love about this jump scare, and which will likely appear in many of the next ones coming up, is that you can see and sometimes hear Cassie's reactions to being jump scared and attacked by these creatures. That's so cool. Seeing her actively struggle to stop herself from getting killed by these monsters makes it so much creepier, so much freakier. I'm gonna say S tier for Ruined Glamrock Freddy. This is one of the best realized jump scares that I think Steel Wool has ever created, because they were allowed to be creative and weird with it, and it's awesome. Up next we have Ruined Roxy Wolf. There's not a lot of jump scares to talk about here, aside from her, like, very calmly asking you to return her eyes. But the actual jump scare that she does have in the game, I just don't see the creative intentionality that went into, like, Ruined Glamrock Freddy's jump scare. Like, to this point, it just feels like it's Roxanne's again. You know, face wiggle, move closer. You know, doesn't have the same kind of vibe to it, in my opinion. I don't know. I like Roxy as a character, and it's very clear that her role in Ruin wasn't necessarily to be an antagonistic, jump-scaring animatronic, but instead, you know, Roxanne Wolf. So, I'm gonna say B tier. I'm gonna say B tier for Roxanne Wolf. Her jump scares are not phenomenal, but also they weren't really designed to be. Up next, we have Ruined Montgomery Gator. Ruined Monty's jump scare is kind of a downgrade from his security breach derivative, primarily because he doesn't spin you in fucking circles anymore. That's really disappointing to me. A lot of the characterization that existed for him has pretty much been completely stripped away since, you know, he ain't got no green on him. He ain't an alligator anymore. He's just like, you know, an ankle biter. I will say that Cassie grabbing him by the fangs and attempting to stop him from, like, biting her face off is a really nice touch, and I think adds a lot of characteristics that are gonna bump it up more so than it would be if, say, it was just like a reskin of his security breach derivative. But I'm gonna say B tier for him as well. Up next, we have Ruined Glamrock Chica.
Chica?
Fucking rank, dude. She's fucking rank, dude. Glamrock Chica has a couple different jump scares, but, like, this is the one I'm primarily gonna focus on because it's just so gross and so well done. There's very few jump scares that we've talked about thus far that would actually make your stomach churn and make you feel disgusted. FNAF isn't really a series that's jump scares, like, really deal much with gore and that sort of thing, so you wouldn't often find that kind of reaction for most of these. But for Ruined Glamrock Chica, oh my god, she looks disgusting. She's revolting. She's horrifying. Imagine the smell. The horror comes not just from the fact you're being killed by this horrific monster, but just how disgusting of a state she's in while she does it. Your killer's gross, dude. It's like if you were being beheaded by a fat anime nerd who, like, got his katana at a mall and he's just, like, chopping your head off and you're like, is this dull-ass blade gonna kill me first, or is it gonna be the stench of a man who hasn't showered since Dragon Ball Super was on the air? Not a real experience. S tier for Chica. We got a Glamrock Chica sweep, dude. Just, phenomenal outings every time. Up next, we have Eclipse.
Friend? No, friend! I am trapped in a nap! Reboot! We need to be whole! No more sun, no light. Forever night.
Why can he fly? Why is he able to fly? Have we ever found out why why can he fly? Eclipse is an interesting animatronic because the jump scares on display for him really range from either really interesting and creatively neat to, His jump scares are both fine as they were, but the ones that I think really stand out are the ones that kind of hint at the deeper internal conflict happening between his two different personalities. Like seeing the rays on Sun retract and extend as, even in the act of killing you, he starts to malfunction and try to figure out which person he's actually supposed to be, is a great touch and really helps to sell the character and his, internal conflict, quite literally. His other jump scares kind of seem like they forget about that internal conflict, and it's just, him being scary and getting you. It's a weird situation where, like, you see something done so well and so interestingly and uniquely, and then you see it be done again just very milquetoast and very, like, not so much like a downgrade, but just like, oh, wow, that was wholly uninspiring. I'm gonna say A tier for Eclipse because it's good, but I would have really appreciated if the sort of interesting character bits that exist for one of his jump scares, like, translated to other ones. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity, but A tier is good. Up next, we have MXES, or Mexes. MXES's inclusion is honestly kind of smart overall because it's much more mechanical than it is just for the sake of scares. Like, it's a character implemented not only for narrative significance, but also to ensure you're not abusing the Vanny Mask. The first couple of times he appears, you will probably be caught off guard and a little bit freaked out. Some of his, like, action and running scenes are really well done, but, like, overall, his jump scares are probably just going to become tedious over time. I really like MXES as a character, and I like the sort of mechanic he plays both from a gameplay and narrative standpoint, but, like, his jump scares are essentially just, like, different cropped up versions of a shitty funk remix. Oh, shit. That was a lot more fun to make than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to give him an A tier. I really enjoyed making a shitty funk edit. Up next, we have the fucked up, ruined, wind up Music Man. Kind of a mixed bag on this one because one of its jump scares is just a reskin of the security breach jump scare, which was good, but, it does feel a little bit lazy when everyone else got a brand new jump scare in this. His other jump scare, where Cassie gets jumped by a ton of them and is forcefully drafted into the world's worst ska band, is a little bit better, but, like, also, it will glitch often. So there have been times where I've seen this jump scare where Cassie is grasping at nothing, or trying to stop nothing from getting her, or at times parts of the wind-up Music Man aren't even fucking loaded in, so it's just a floating head jump scaring you, which is scary! I will say, that has been proven to work! That being said, when all the little shits actually spawn in, it does become a lot scarier, and it is an effective jump scare. And even though it is a reskin of just the security breach derivative, I also really like that jump scare too, as you remember, so I'm gonna say A tier for the ruined wind-up Music Man. It just feels appropriate. And lastly, the final jump scare we have to do is... The Mimic has such a cool design. Like, this is what I wanted Ennard to look like. Just this ramshackle bit of mixed parts all put together, trying its best to seem human, but really failing. All of its jump scares are really good as well, even its furry derivatives. Surprisingly, they're all animated differently. In one, he chooses paper, and in the other, he chooses rock. I can't wait for the Mimic scissoring jump scare. Don't quote that. I like that the Mimic has its own sound design as well for its jump scare because it would make sense. This thing, like, predates Christ in the FNAF world. So yeah, it would sound a whole lot shittier. The Mimic's greatest strength, I think, is primarily its design and ultimate execution. For a character that has been so back and forth, does it exist, does it not exist, is it Burn Trap, is it not Burn Trap, is it X, Y, or Z, yada yada yada. It's really interesting to see even just the smallest, like, true outing of it on screen be as effective as it is. That being said, I don't think I can rank it. At least not yet. That will have to wait for June, during the release of Secret of the Mimic. I will be streaming the entirety of the game from start to finish. I don't care how long it takes me. I'll take the day off work. I don't care if it's a buggy mess when I play it. Day it drops on this channel, Secret of the Mimic, be there or be polydodecahedronic. And there you have it, fucks. My entire Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare tier list, barring Help Wanted, NVR, and the Roblox thing they had, and I guess Into the Pit, and technically not the Mimic. Let me know if you liked it in the comment section below, or if you disagree with any of my takes. As always, please like and subscribe and support the channel on Patreon, or become a member today if you'd like. You can see this video early, as well as some behind-the-scenes content, and even some video essays that only exist for members or Patreon-exclusive individuals. Patrons and members also get special powers in my Discord server, the horrific place in which I am frequently drawn engaging in yaoi, or being a goose, or a capybara, sometimes a red panda. I might be a furry. And make sure to join us in June when we play the entirety of Secret of the Mimic, streaming live on this channel. There is a link to all of that in the description below, but again, I hope you guys liked it, and if you didn't, tell me in the comments section. Let's start some shit. Fucking say it to my face. You won't, pussy, pussy. Put your lips against mine, pussy, you won't. Fuck it, it's time for A big thank you to our interdimensional patrons, Mixed Demeanor and A Ghost Bat. Thank you both for your incredibly, probably financially irresponsible donations to the channel. It genuinely means the world to me, and you have my word. I will play the games that you have told me to and make videos about them eventually. I'll get around to it, I swear. A big thank you to the rest of our patrons on Patreon. Arcane Moody, Screm, Jade Skylar, Sal, Stinky Ratmans, Hey It's Chevalier, Antonina Dolne, Olo Shadow, Imagine Not Being Reckoner, Styx, Phantomized, Anarcho Vera, High Twink, or Hitwink, I don't know which one it is, Mr. Put It On 06, Lobo, Ya Boy Beachy, Cress Moon, Troper37, Michael Phone, Skyhon, Miss Moira, Cassie Polt, Kit, Alder Sapling, Holiday, Dulcie, Colin Black, Les Flea, Kia Caslana, Wolfman Darcy, Strider Johnston, Vanilla Jukebox 9817, Platypus, Quinn Questioner, Lightning Deathbringer, Khan, Leorio, Squeaks DeCorge, Miles Jennings, 99 Pikachus in a Trench Coat, A Simple Human Being, Wild Sunny, Hazelnut, Wesley Norton, and Orion E. A big thank you to our channel members as well. Lilac, Soic and Jealous, The Eternal Captain, Brooke Woolgrima, Parasite, Kitty, Millennia, Vulcan Kazuma, Chi Reese, Ari, Tough Nay, Albie McMaster, Dr. 222, Goodmodius, Risa Wiz, Clark Shortland, Kaylin Moore, Kathy Ray, Lucy Arisato, Sierra Harper, Jess, Cecil C. Cragness, Chicken Overdrive, Cyan Soup, Danny, Sean, Stragan Moment, DXLLS, Spaceman, I see what you did there, Hunteroo Wilson George, Monty, the actual artist of the goose and red panda and capybara images, Pain Raven, and Lucky Owl. Thank you all for supporting me and this channel. It genuinely means the world to me. And if I mispronounced any of your names, please let me know and I will do better next time. Like a problematic white woman on Twitter, I am listening and I'm learning.
I be feeling like a piece of shit. Oh, and just pop team pathetic. I be feeling like I'm out of it.